The following video was written together with @AncientSearcher on Twitter. Breath of the Wild 2 is a quest of restoration, permanently restoring peace and order to Hyrule after winning it briefly in Breath of the Wild. Thus, to reforge the Blade of Evil's Bane, which has been damaged, we're back where it all started in the Zelda series. The sky, and likely with the spirit in the sword Fi. In fact, in the delay footage we might have seen a hint of what is going on. Link pulling out the Master Sword from its scabbard and presenting it towards a golden light. It is just that this isn't the first time we have seen this ritual, at least what this blade used to be. Namely the Goddess Sword, which was pulled in the sky, while forged by Fi with the three-colored flames of the goddesses into the Master Sword on the surface. Finally, it became the true Master Sword after being blessed by the first mortal incarnation of Goddess Hylia, Zelda of Skyloft. And with it, a tradition was born. Well, in this sequel, it is the other way around. The sword was pulled on the surface in Breath of the Wild. Fi awakened again if DLC 1 counts. The sword was damaged on the ground in the opening of the sequel and will be reforged throughout the quest in the sky. But what will reforge it this time, since there's no way Link will wait another 100 years for the Master Sword to heal in Korok Forest? The pure power of a divine golden flame, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, since the Master Sword's highest form in both A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds was a golden Master Sword. And since we're at the end of the Zelda timeline, it is clear that something gold will be key to the Master Sword, after upgrading the Master Sword to its illuminated form in the Trial of the Sword. The one that brought Fi back after 100 years, and before that, back to Skyward Sword's emotional ending. A hint can be found in Breath of the Wild's Memory 1, or specifically the part we don't hear as the other champions started talking, which is chronicled in Creating a Champions, page 378. Forged in the long distant past, aka Skyward Sword, the sword that seals the darkness, guardian of Hyrule, ancient steel, forever bound to the hero. In the name of Goddess Hylia, I bless you and your chosen hero. Over the seas of time and distance, when we need the golden power of the goddess, our hope rests in you to be forever by the hero's side. Again, we pray that the two of you will grow stronger and be together as one. Clearly, the Master Sword has finished its upgrades on the surface. Now it once again needs the divine, pure power of the goddesses to be reforged and ready to stab the greater evil that lurks in Hyrule Castle. Not so different from how the Narsil was reforged in The Lord of the Rings by the elves of Rivendell into the Underhill for Aragorn to claim his throne and title as King of Gondor, including how it was used to recruit the spirits of the Army of the Dead for the Battle of Minas Tirith. Link might also eventually recruit an army of spirits, but before that, the Master Sword needs the golden flames, as this one will most likely not be a single color flame, single upgrade like in Skyward Sword, and what preceded the forging procedure in that game, Fi's ritual and actual Zelda dungeons, since not all of them were temples. It is clear that the Hero of the Wild shares a lot in common with the Hero of the Sky. They are both right-handed, they have an intimate relation with Zelda, and both are forced on a quest due to her fall and a blade with a glowing spirit within. Fi, one that needs to reach its fullest potential thanks to possibly Fi and the golden flames, which might again be fueled by the golden trees that were so abundant in the E3 2021 teaser trailer. But why the golden trees? Because they're directly tied to the personal philosophy of the Zelda team, and specifically Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, and sequel director Hidemaru Fujibayashi. Even so, the term Golden Trees predates Fujibayashi, as he was first mentioned in Hyrule Historia's page 201, the final page regarding Twilight Princess and unused concept art. These tied to the Spirit Springs, which were downgraded for the final game. Originally, the Zelda team wanted to create a golden tree from which leaves spill light-infused water into the Spirit Springs. Then exactly 15 years later, in the E3 2021 teaser, we witnessed numerous golden trees. Another example of Fujibayashi bringing back or adding additional meaning to a past inclusion, or in this case exclusion, in the Zelda series. A clear example of this is the notorious Silent Realm in Skyward Sword. Hyrule Historia, page 58, states that it is a spiritual realm that can only be entered by those chosen by the goddess. Link must brave unknown challenges in a mysterious world that remains close to outsiders. Sounds familiar? Since this was a deliberate move by the Zelda team, building upon what was established with the vessels in Twilight Princess to resurrect the spirits within. The light spirits which appeared with a green droplet that looks suspiciously similar to the second teaser trailer of the sequel. But that's not all, since the Guardians in Skyward Sword Silent Realm are the guardians of none other than Goddess Hylia, as stated in Hyrule Historia. Since their clothes are covered with designs that reference the Triforce, they are not evil, instead they are just testing Link. Just like we were tested by the ancient Sheikah in Breath of the Wild, and equally, we will be tested in the sky, and our proof of progress could be stored in none other than this game's spirit vessel, Link's new spirit gauntlet as seen in March, filling it up until we can further reforge the sword that destroys evil. In the 7 seconds of footage, we see Link in front of what could be a golden flame and a symbol glowing in front of it on Link's hand, upon which Link pulls out the Master Sword to present it to the flame. So here's our theory on what is going on. In Breath of the Wild 2, the vast sky area might have now become the Silent Realm, upon which the hero must collect the healing essence of the golden trees, while the spirit that will purify the Master Sword and bring it even further beyond will obviously be its spirit, Fi. This essence could be stored inside Link's new gauntlet, as when Link brought the damaged Master Sword in front of the golden flame, the gauntlet started to shine, as if triggering an interaction. The essence surrounding it all has a real-life equivalent, the golden Ginkgo tree. In Japan, golden trees are called Ginkgo, which arrived from China around 1000 years ago and are worshipped at Shinto shrines as Shimboku, or divine trees. Let's remember, series creator Shigeru Miyamoto, series producer Eiji Aonuma, and director Hidemaru Fujibayashi are all raised in the tradition of Shinto. No wonder, as Kyoto Prefecture, Nintendo's and Zelda's home, and Breath of the Wild's map inspiration, is also the historic capital of the Shinto tradition and the Japanese imperial family, the dynasty which descends from none other than Amaterasu, the sun goddess. There is your explanation as to why the goddesses in the Zelda series are female. You may have guessed it already, but Breath of the Wild 2 is the most Japanese Zelda game to date, and it has been slowly building to this from Skyward Sword through the Silent Realms, the ancient system, and at its end, the founding goddess reincarnated as a mortal and establishing a monarchy from its dynasty. Then in Breath of the Wild we had the ancient Sheikah of Jomon, and the present Sheikah of Kakariko and the Yiga clan representing the later samurai or ninja, and now the entirety of the sky in the sequel being a whole other level, namely the key to reforging the Master Sword for its final battles. Throughout Breath of the Wild, and now Breath of the Wild 2, it has been hinted that the Master Sword is slowly dying, and that the sequel will be a spiritual journey of cleansing and reforging both the Master Sword and the spirit of the hero in the sky to fully restore Fi's power and be ready for the threat on the surface, the one that once again emerged from the depths of the underground, just like the mice back then. A possible final showdown, including for the Master Sword. Naturally, the golden trees, the golden flame, and a potential golden Master Sword from these hint towards the ultimate golden relic of the three golden goddesses, the golden Triforce. Something that producer Eiji Aonuma stated in the making of Breath of the Wild in 2017 that he wants to mend. Well, this is the culmination that has been prepared since 2011, so that the sequel can be an 11 out of 10. Joking aside, it is clear that the Zelda team has had a clear master plan for the spiritual trilogy of the Master Sword's beginning and end, or perhaps even Fi's journey seen through two of her masters, Alpha and Omega, as we have argued for several months, filled with golden sky exploration, challenging temples, and golden rewards, all needed in the climax of the game, trilogy, and possibly the current Zelda timeline. And a self-sustained Master Sword was already implemented in Breath of the Wild by the master of adding deeper context in Zelda, director Hidemaru Fujibayashi, specifically when it was discovered in-game that under specific circumstances, the Master Sword is triggered to fly skyward and return to the forest to its resting place. This mechanism had in-game related text, proving this was an actual game mechanism and wasn't a glitch as some initially thought. Throughout Breath of the Wild, we find hints for preserving, guarding, and reforging the Master Sword, but only when seen together its significant role is revealed. This role was confirmed by the Zelda team in 2017's Creating a Champion on pages 229, 365, 388, and 389. Not surprisingly, it ties to the Great Deku Tree, Fi, and Goddess Hylia. Quote, "The Master Sword has averted many calamities alongside the hero, and the pedestal that restores the sword from the damage it incurs in those battles is located in Korok Forest, which brims with the energy of the land. Perhaps by the design of the goddess beside the pedestal, a single young cherry tree grew. The young tree bathed in the energy flowing through the land, and after an eternity had passed, became the spiritual guardian of the blade." Now over to Fi. The voice inside the Master Sword provided invaluable advice following Zelda's awakening and Link's fall, but this is where the two had to part. Zelda spoke to the sword, saying that although the slumber of restoration would most certainly deprive Link of his memories, he would arrive before the legendary blade again one day. And Fi would not indicate her presence again until the end of the trial of the sword. The next time we will hear her is in the sequel for a quest that Fi remembers all too well from a quest with the Hero of the Sky in order to reforge the Master Sword. The Master Sword has a purpose, and the mice, we're coming for you after Ganondorf. Together with the possible Golden Master Sword, forged in a golden flame from the essence of the golden trees in the sky, they will all be your undoing. And that is Breath of the Wild's deep Master Sword secret, so be sure to comment. And if you haven't already, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press the notification bell to make this groundbreaking Zelda video more visible and to not miss future videos like this one. Last but not least, a big thanks to you for watching and to all our patreon.com/commonroll patrons, and in particular role producer Charles Shash for supporting. You rock, and please enjoy one or both of these two awesome videos.